And welcome back, everyone, to Explorers of Elsewhere's Tales from Elsewhere. Hi, I'm DM Dan, and I'm joined by Nate, Livy, Georgia, Theo, and Dan. Hello, 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 hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
We, just before the break, we are 5 intrepid explorers, found a Temple of Naravid, the god colloquially known as the Doomsayer, and you went spelunking, you went niffing around, you found some skeletons, you found some tents, you found some impressive arcane contraptions, you found a magic crystal, and not a whole lot else until the crystal was activated and you found yourselves thrown into a bizarre crystalline world that is seemingly depicting a memory of something in the past, as suddenly this temple that was destroyed in the present is now filled with people, and to Vanya's excitement / horror, also a dragon spawn of some description who you've heard name dropped as Eindrith. So yeah, as the 5 of you, and your accompanying wizard is nowhere to be seen. As the 5 of you very quickly acclimatise to your surroundings, who would like to jump back in after an intro video?
Yeah, go on then.
Yeah, go on. Yeah, go on. Yeah, you go on. Yeah. All across the unknown world, rediscovery pushes ever onwards to find the lands and people lost. All thanks to our brave explorers.
Hi, I'm Dan, and I'm playing Vanya, the Wolfkin Warrior.
Hey, I'm Livy. I'm going to be playing Rayri, the Sprite Ranger.
Hi, my name's Theo, and I'm playing Cal, the Sangvar Guardian.
I'm Georgia, and I will be playing Alfric Stormhorn, a Dragon Scent Bard.
Hi, I'm Nate, and I'm playing Azakar, a Majani Seraph.
And my name is DM Dan, the GM in these adventures. The further we go, the more we learn of these magical tales from elsewhere. So, we join you in this Temple of Naravid, this bizarre, curious, crystalline reflection of such. We will zoom in on Vanya. You are stood at the bottom of a flight of steps. Stood above you, at the top of the steps, you've assumed this lady, this Wolfkin woman, to be a priestess of Naravid, the Doomsayer. She looks at you with a curious look upon her face, studying you closely with one Wolfkin eye and one eye made of a rich royal blue sapphire-like gem. And as she sees you, like, what's your physical response to seeing the dragon spawn behind her?
It's kind of like initial like lifting of the arms, like just like instinct to just like be ready and on guard. Okay. In which case, as you're sort of like fight or flight, and it's definitely the fight response like kicks in, she kind of lifts a hand to you and says, "Please, now stay your hand. I fear you are, well, I sense that you are somewhat lost, child." I didn't mean to come here. Where is this?
You are in a Temple of Naravid within the plains of Merethesos. Where did you come from?
From the Temple of Naravid, but it was all destroyed? This is weird. Why is a giant dragon spawn back behind you?
So as you say, like the Temple of Naravid but destroyed, like you see the priestess's eyes flicker ever so slightly, and then she returns her gaze to you, seemingly kind of steely, more steely in resolve. And as you ask your question, this is Lord Eindrith, a brood, a dragon spawn of our Lord Wender High. He is recuperating his wounds after a recent attack. You mentioned you came from a Temple of Naravid in Merethisos. Have you travelled alone?
No. And I think in my head, I might be in trouble.
The four of you all hear Vanya say, I might be in trouble, in your minds. Let's snap to Alfric and Cal. You find yourselves in the same room you were in, but decidedly less wrecked. They're like, Cal, you have to sort of like jump out the way slightly as this planetary orb kind of swings around, and sort of like one of the what appears to be a priest, like jump, like hands out, it's like, look out, as this metallic orb that looks like coalesced crystalline starlight kind of swings around past, and you move out the way. And like Alfric, you're also kind of warned as another another body, cosmic body, kind of hones in on your chest. And the priest looking at you and who are you? Where did you come from? And as the priest begins bombarding you with questions, you then hear Vanya in your head say, I think I'm in trouble.
I look at Alfred, and Cal is trying to think very fast on his feet about what to do. This is not a situation he expected to be in. But he's also aware that Alfred is a dragon sent, and they are in a betrayer god's temple, and he is not entirely sure how this is going to go. So I feel like he I wouldn't say like bullies himself forward exactly, but he goes over and makes sure that he takes the centre of attention, like in a very protective way for Alfric. He's very concerned that they're going to look at Alfric and suddenly just go, "Oi, not on our side, pal," or whatever. So he steps forward. We arrived by magical means. We just wish to leave.
The priest kind of looks from to and fro. The priestess looks to the two of you, and are you the enemy?
No.
And the priest of Naravid looks to you, and Alfred, roll me a presence check.
That is a 16 with fear.
16 with fear. The priest lets out a sigh of relief, and perhaps your arrival is one of fortuitous events. But please speak to our high priest, our priestess. You will find her in the main antechamber behind the planetary astrolabe.
But thank you.
But you must hurry. These are dangerous times.
Hurrying. Yeah. Yes, certainly.
And as you As the two of you begin kind of scurrying down this hallway that you were not able to traverse moments ago, you pass by what appear to be a number of temple guards. Cal, you immediately notice that these three are on high alert. They've been kind of looking over there, like looking at you since you arrived. But as the two of you kind of pass, the priest tells the guards to leave you be, but as the two of you pass, you hear them kind of murmuring to themselves, perhaps their appearance is part of all of it. First the skies burn, and now people appear and disappear at will. And perhaps, Alfric, that might not mean all that much to you, but Cal, at their assumptions, you wonder, you can't help but shake the feeling. The talk of burning skies, the magical phenomena happening weirdly. You worry that you are in the eschaton. The cataclysmic end of the world at the conclusion of the war. You see a number of temple guard in front of the doorway that you've walked through, and sort of they go to talk to you, but you just kind of effectively push past them. Alfric, you scampering along behind Cal, and you find yourself back in that large room that you can now see clearly, the light emitting from torches on these 8 pillars, throwing out this coruscating rainbow glow. Azakar and Rayri, you find yourselves in a meeting room of sorts. There is a long table. Rayri, you find yourself stood in front of a bookcase that spans a section about a quarter of the wall of this room. There is another priest looking at you confused. And Azakar, you notice that the robes of the priest talking to Rayri are the robes of the skeleton you saw in the camp. Okay.
I was just going to say, have we heard Vanya yet?
As the priest is saying to Rayri, oh, what are you doing? Suddenly this Ignan sprite and a large hound-like creature have just materialised. You then hear Vanya saying, I think I'm in trouble. Cal and Alfric, are you saying anything over the comms?
Yeah, I feel like we should say something. I was trying to think of what.
I see a dragon.
Yeah, heading to the hallway. Don't engage. There's too many of them for us. Do not engage.
Yeah, for all intents and purposes, feel free to talk to one another in character, even if you're not near each other, because you can all hear one another. So Azakar, yeah, you hear Cal's update. You see that what appear to be 2 temple guard have taken defensive positions and are looking at you, swords and shields drawn. But there's no sort of killer edge to them. They just seem more confused and disorientated by your sudden appearance. One of them's looking at you as if you are quite not right. As this Tron-esque crystalline humanoid sort of looks at you.
Ready, come on, main hall. And he's just gonna walk past them.
As you go, the 2 temple guards step in your way, and the priest kind of shouts out from the back of the room, stop where you are. Tell us your intentions. Why are you here?
We don't know. We're going to find out now.
The priest sort of flaps a little bit. The guards don't really look like they know what to do. Azakar, how does it feel? Have you got any holy symbols of Aya? on your...
That's the thing, I probably do. Like, my scimitar at least must have something that projects some sort of, like, a symbol of ire on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you being discreet with it? Are you sheathing it, perhaps?
Get out of the way! He's got it. I think because he's very unprepared of what's happened, he is holding onto it tightly, prepared to fight, but he may necessarily be covering it, but just be completely by accident.
Okay.
He's covering the sigils that he has on his scimitar.
Okay. Do either of the two of you have any questions, or are you heading to the hall with Cal?
I think Riri will just be following Azakar's lead. Just kind of...
Okay. In which case, the priest at the back is also kind of... Well, everyone in this room is flapping. Azakar, well, actually, Riri, you kind of just... You sense the feeling between the people in the room, and it's weird because they don't seem like... They're not people, because they almost look like crystalline ghosts of a sort. But you get the you can feel their presence for all intents and purposes, and you also feel this creeping dread that's kind of permeating this place. Like you sense that something bad is either about to happen or is already happening. Azakar, you feel the same as well, but perhaps where you have a slightly stronger connection to Aya, which, if nothing else, you still feel deep within your chest. But perhaps you feel a bit more clarity, and the last time you felt like this was when the magics of the War of Dragons were tearing elsewhere apart. But yeah. Have you got any questions, sorry, or are you heading over?
No, I think we're just kind of going close to Azakar, and as she's just sort of saying in her head, kind of forgetting that Azakar can also hear the link. Just like, I don't think Azakar's very happy.
Okay.
I don't.
Neither am I.
I think we better go.
Okay.
This is not good.
So, as the two of you begin making your way down your hallway, as you emerge into like the entrance hall that you stepped through, 10-15 minutes ago, it is now complete. It is not laden with rubble, but one thing you do notice as you pass is that there are the temple guards that are standing around look extremely nervous. And Riri, as you pass by, you overhear one of them saying, the scouts are reporting enemy movements. I worry that they're closing in. As the four of you rejoin Vanier, this priestess watches the four of you arrive. Does a group also minding a dog? No, I've already made that mistake once. Yeah, as the four of you arrive, the priestess looks slightly shocked. And how do the four of you feel seeing this kind of big leagues dragon spawn coiled up behind the priestess? How does that make you feel? Alfred waves.
I mean, Azakar has obviously seen dragon spawn before, because obviously there's the dragon spawn in the Temple of Ire.
Mm-hmm.
But could he possibly tell it's a dragon spawn from, who is it? Wender
High. So,
Wender High.
Yeah, you, upon seeing this dragon, you remark from the curved, like the ram-like horns, that this dragon is of the same brood as the Horned Hunters, but you're able to very quickly acknowledge that, yeah, it is a dragon of the brood of Wender High. Wender High being the oh no, I've forgotten the name of my own lore. Hold.
I've got it up.
Oh yeah. Wender High, what's the, I think it's the Beguiler?
It's
the Beguiler.
The Beguiler.
The Beguiler, okay. Wender High, the Beguiler. You note that the dragon spawn is this long, thin, almost like eel-like body, but with 2 arms, 2 legs. But it seems to kind of be propped up on its serpentine body, like the legs and arms float almost as if they're underwater. If they're underwater, and you note that this dragon, Lord Eindrith, as you've been led to believe, appears to be wearing robes of Naravid, in a bit of a, like, is wearing the colours of Naravid. But as you approach and the priestess welcomes you, you hear in your heads, "These are strange times indeed." And whilst it may be odd to hear a dragon spawn in your minds, Alfric, not only is it strange, but it is uncomfortably familiar. As you realise you've heard this voice before. The priestess does not recognise ill intent in your minds, so perhaps you will be our saviours in this moment of judgment. The priestess, she closes her eyes, and we have reason to believe that iron forces are forces of the divinists are on approach. Today we make our last stand. Perhaps you have been sent from another time to aid us.
Hearing that, Azakar is then going to suddenly really realise that he does have sort of iron sigils on him, and really sort of grip hold of his scimitar, fully knowing just like, oh no.
Yeah. Remember, you can talk to each other telepathically, so silently in that sense.
Alfred is trying to work out how best to tell everyone that the last time he heard this particular voice, it was coming from a very strange circlet. In a certain wizard's tower that he was very, very proud of himself for not putting on. I think you just hear his little voice in the back of your head going, I don't think we should be here.
Alfric, you are absolutely correct. This voice came from the disembodied voice from the black circlet in the trophy room of Archmage
being very mean to
Ulick.
him.
That is to unpack later, but Alfred, you of magic ilk, do you know how to get us out of this weird magic-y situation?
I mean, I really only do kind of magic with my violin. That's not really magic. Not this kind of magic.
The concern I have, says Cal in his mind, is that we are currently in the past, and the past is about to explode. I'm not doing this to scare you. I'm doing this to tell you that this is the end of the war. Everything is about to blow, including this place. So I think I don't know what to think anymore. If I'm honest with you, I don't know what to do. And Cal's voice, like his head voice, does sound a bit panicked, because Cal is probably somewhere else doing his last stand, probably at this point in the past, thinking he's probably about to die.
What? Wait, but I look the same. I'm not younger. Wait, what?
We've travelled back.
Cal, yeah, you look around, and based off like what you remember from the Crystal Tower, you can't help but shake the feeling that you are currently inhabiting a memory from Arcane Manor, in the same way that the Crystal Tower north of New Prosper conjured a memory from Manor to be manifest. It seems that now you are living in the memory. You are now part of the memory.
So the question is then, above board, Dan, is can we get hurt in the memory of a manifested manor? Because if we can't, then that's useful to know. I can't remember the specifics.
In real life.
You discreetly pinch yourself, Cal, and you experience pain.
Yeah, okay, we need to not be in the memory. We need to get away from this.
What about getting that crystal? The Garvis twisted a thingy at the bottom of the crystal. Maybe we get the crystal and we do it.
This dragon and priestess have just been like talking to you, and then the five of you all just stood bolt upright, silent.
Each other.
Is everything okay? The priestess says.
Look, we have traveled seemingly into the past, and
I feel we should probably be going. Sorry for taking up any of your time.
How did you arrive here?
I have no idea.
Someone we were traveling with was fiddling with a crystal.
The priestess looks over her shoulder to Lord Eindrith, and the two of them look to the planetary astrolabe in the centre of the hall. Did it look something like that? She says, pointing. And it absolutely is.
Yes. That.
The two of them look to one another again. We had only had suspicions of such possibilities in the past. It was a concept dabbled with by the clergy of Hydrea, but I feel that if you are from a future time, you have travelled into a conjurate memory of this moment. Do you have the crystal with which you travelled with?
So look at Vanya.
No.
Gavin, whatever his name is, did.
Sir Gavin.
Bloody Gavin.
The priestess thinks if that crystal still exists in the future, then, and you are here, if you are able to aid us with empowering this crystal, you can use its power to travel forward in the same way that you have travelled back. I must stress that this is a theory untested by any of us, but I fear that you will now be responsible for helping to create the memory with which you now exist.
And I look over to the rest of the group like, what?
Just maths.
My brain's just going.
As she says that, you hear a panicked voice cry from the other end of the hall. High Priestess! They're here! They're here! You hear this voice call out, and Eindrith looks up to peer past the astrolabe, as does the priestess, and you hear a commotion near the entrance of the temple. And you see a number of the temple guard rush forward to barricade the door with their bodies, leaning against it, and you see them sort of bouncing as things are colliding with there was clearly a door here before the cave mouth that you just walked through, but they seem to be bouncing off as something's trying to barge its way through, and as they kind of mount a defense, the priestess looks to you and says, whoever is about to invade this divine sanctum will surely see to destroy the crystal. If that happens, you will be trapped within this memory, and you will endure the fate, as will we all.
No. How do we start this thing right now?
The priestess looks to Eindrith and... I will need some time to channel our energies into it. Please, help us.
Who do you believe is attacking you?
The Eindrith growls and... Believers of a wronged... believers of foolish gods.
Cal knows that this is going to be very difficult.
No other choice, folks. We better help out so they can get us back.
I will allow you, as the priestess moves down, to begin channeling a ritual into the astrolabe to empower the crystal that will send you out of this memory. Please move your tokens as we begin combat.
I'm going to get myself to the very
I
forefront.
I can be far away. I think as we're moving around.
Where's these doors?
Down in the southwest corner, yeah.
So where I am now?
Well, let me do that. So yeah, as you stand in the doorway to the main hall, you can see that there are a number of temple guard that have kind of materialized around the doorway, preparing to defend it. Is everyone else feel free to carry on moving?
Yeah, I'm just gonna... I need to do something in character as Cal first, because I feel like it's very important. Cal is going to look to Azakar, because he has figured out exactly who are coming through these doors. And he knows how he's going to feel about this as much as he feels about this. And he's going to have to say it in the group chat, because he can't say it outside. Mm-hmm. So the group chat are going to learn everything. But Cal is going to say, the people we fought for are attacking this temple. But if we do not fight them, we will not get home. And I hate this as much as you hate this. But if we do not do this, we are going to die. I'm sorry to ask this of you. But if we do not do this, we are all going to die.
Awkward. Oh no.
Azakar's not saying anything. He is standing relatively uncomfortably close to the High Priestess.
Okay.
It's in the group chat.
Wait, but what? Will we change the course? Is this in the pot? I don't want to change the history. What are we doing here?
This is the problem. This is the problem. I don't know what happens here. We know eventually everything that happens to it, but I don't know if necessarily we do it now. Like,
if we kill
just
everyone
saying-
that comes in that door, what if that changes what happens in the future?
Can't we simply knock them out, perhaps?
Well, all of them.
I'm sorry, folks, but this is a do or don't. We've been given information. Let's do this. They've been forthright.
As Alfric is just like, can we just knock them out? Azakar, you feel a presence waft behind you as Lord Eindrith swoops down the stairs and with a bellowing roar shouts, "To battle!" and like soars over the astrolabe towards the front of the hall to provide defences there. Is everyone placed where they want to be placed?
Yes.
Okay.
I have a feeling
yes.
that if there's like a humongous explosion, then I might be in it. So maybe if I was over to the side.
As you fearfully cower away, Vanya, you hear like the guards, the temple guards have like prepped against the door and like nothing's happening. Someone's clicking the wrong button.
Sorry, maybe I don't know what I've done. I'm so sorry.
And mass explosion.
Now we're all aflame.
I don't know how to get.
What have you done? Okay, right, I've got it.
No, I'll stay where I was.
I've got it. Okay,
Like,
stay where you were.
Thank you.
Okay. In which case,
No,
Vanya, you hear sort of like the guards have been kind of get knocked back by whoever's barging in on the other side, and they all sort of like hurry back to reinforce it. And then there's like a silence for a moment and a pause in the tension, which only works to ratchet up the tension. And suddenly there is a nimbus of light with like beams of light shine through the cracks between the doors, and the wooden doors are blown inwards, knocking back the temple guards who land scattered in the hallway. And as light pours in from outside, you see a number of soldiers surge into the hall. You see a number of soldiers surge into the hall. Vanya, from your position, you spy a number of soldiers. I mean, you didn't. By the sounds of it, you didn't fight in the war per se, but you notice that they're all wearing a kind of a quilted yellow uniform, a metal breastplate, identical shields and spears. So you notice these soldiers surging in. Perhaps more fascinatingly, you also spy 4 robed figures, wearing black robes, large, kind of loose black hoods, lined with white. These strange metallic, like claw-like masks covering their eyes. And what piques your attention when you peer at them, Vanya, is they almost vault in between and like dart in between the soldiers as they like speedily advance on the enemy, and with whistling sweeps they swing this ornate-looking scythe into the enemy ranks, and the temple guard kind of are knocked back by the sudden assault. You hear one scream as a scythe arcs round and goes round the edge of his shield and cuts into his arm. And as he sort of like roars, you watch as this black-robed figure deftly spins the scythe, and with a swing, one of the guards is decapitated. Vanya, roll me a knowledge check if you want to see if you know, like a reactive knowledge check to see if you want to know who these figures are.
I've got a 0 on this, so let's see.
So I'm going to start touching.
18?
18. As you peer at these robe-wearing flits of movement, you wonder if these are the famed, like the infamous battle monks of Ulavari, the twin gods of life and death. And
I think,
yeah, these four remind you of stories of the Reaper, like spirits that shear through evildoers.
Yeah, I probably Vanya probably just relays this into the chat, like what he just sees.
Okay.
Just so everyone's aware.
Sure. So Vanya, as you watch this all happening, those of you who are around the High Priestess, you watch as she sort of plants her staff, and she begins kind of enchanting and toning in Draconic, and you watch as this crystal begins to glow ever so slightly, and then with her eyes closed, kind of not diverting attention, she just says out loud, "Please, we must divert the energies of the temple to the astrolabe. The rooms are near the entrance. Please, hurry!" she shouts out. So, with that, all of that laid out, who's taking the first turn?
Did they just say the rooms are near the entrance?
Mm-hmm. And, Vanya, you think and remember that you saw two, like, corridors to the left and right of the entrance as you entered in.
Do you mean these two here?
You'll have to go and check and find out.
Okay. Well, seeing that I am the closest one...
Yep, we'll go with Vanya.
I will just say... Well, I guess it's me then. Someone might need to talk me through what we need to do. And... I don't know why I went slightly dwarvish there, but yeah, just going. Vanya just like starts like leaping in, just bolting. He's just gonna go to. I'm taking the right. As he darts off over to this direction.
What we'll do, because distances in combat, like it can be a thing, but what we'll just say is, please roll me an agility check to see, like if you pass the agility check, you'll get there quickly. If not, time is spent, like extra time is spent for all intents and purposes. So yeah, please roll me an agility, and this will be with hope or fear.
Yeah, okay. I was just making sure I haven't got anything that I can use. This is probably nothing off of my experiences that was really narratively sound. So yeah, agility roll.
Yeah.
Normal. I got a crit.
A crit. Okay. So you gain a hope if nothing else. Yeah, you're able to immediately move up into the room where the artifact is, like the room that the priestess has shouted for.
I'm going to take that as a Slayer die,
Okay.
so my second Slayer die that I can hold. But yeah, with that crit, so hold on, can I move?
Yep. So you can move all the way for all intents and purposes.
Yeah. Why wouldn't it let me? Trying to get in.
Are you on the measure tool? Have you got the ruler selected on the left-hand side of your screen? Because you should have the four corners of the square.
Hold on, let me... No, hold on. If I do this...
Or you can use your arrows. You can use your arrow keys.
There we go.
There you go.
Up this way.
Okay. So yeah, you enter into this room, and it's got this large kind of set of concentric rings over... I'm I mean, Vanya might not know what this is for me to describe it, but Dan you probably will. It looks like you could expect to see like an atlas globe installed within this, but in lieu of a globe, it's these kind of gold concentric rings, and there are runes that you can see inscribed around these rings, and like as they pass at various points, they spark and flash, and kind of arcane magic is jumping between them, and there's a priest that a priest that is in the room as you enter, and who's sort of like as you come charging up the stairs. Who are you? Are you an attacker?
No, I'm here to help. I say, someone tell me how I do this. Rerouting the thingy.
Rerouting the thingy. Are you saying it in your head or out loud?
Both.
Okay, sure. The priest of Naravid looks to you and why would you reroute the power? Are we
Your priestess has told me to reroute whatever this is to the crystal in the room. Do it.
Okay, the priest sort of like steps around and it will take two of us. And please roll me a finesse check.
A finesse?
Yeah, as you have to effectively kind of the priest tells you to bring the rings into alignment.
Now, I don't have great finesse. But I'm trying to argue. Now, this is a bit far-fetched, but you can say no. But I'm gonna try and use my experience of heightened senses to try and, rather than be listening to everything that's going on, to focus my attention on what he's telling me to do.
Sure. I mean, I was wondering if you were going to say monster culinarian again, but no, heightened senses I'll get behind.
I'll do that then. So this is going to be with +3. Yeah,
and then
+3.
Tick off your hope as and when.
And I'll take off a hope. So that brings me down to that. Right, I'll just roll this quickly. So finesse with +3. That is with 16, 17, 18, 19 with hope.
That does it. So as the rings like swing past each other, you tune into the sound of the air as the air increasing in pitch as they pass within close proximity. And I mean, for all intents and purposes, let's pretend it's almost like you've got to turn something when they're all in alignment. And like you can see the priest, like the camera zooms in and there's like a trickle of sweat, crystalline sweat dripping down this memory's forehead. And a 19, as you like hit the plunger, the rings lock into place. All the runes ignite and they all fire their arcane energy inwards. It forms into this kind of ball of light, which then crackles and then drops down into the ground. And like unbeknownst to you, in the main hall, you hear Azakar, you see that the crystal lights up slightly. Anything else, Vanya? I think that's pretty much it for your turn.
That is my turn.
Okay. Let's spice it up. You tell me who we're going to pass to in the chaos of combat.
Um,
And anyone can
whoever's
spend
closest.
hope to interrupt, I believe.
Yeah, I basically what I'll do as I'm doing this, I was like, whoever is closest to the front, come and get to the left corridor now. Get someone to help you reroute this thingy.
I think that's Alfric, and he does have quite good finesse.
Okay. So we'll start. It's Alfric's turn. In the shadow of Lord Eindrith, to your right. If you want to hoon it through the temple to the other room.
Yes.
That'll be an agility check to get there.
Okay, I have +1 agility. That is okay. That is a 17 with fear.
17 with fear. Very good. So you do, in fact, make it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move you to right about here for a moment. As you're making remarkable pace to this area that you need to go to, which is down here, you see these 4 scythe-wielding kind of zealots kind of flipping and ducking and weaving between one another as they kind of attack the defenders from all different angles, and then from behind them there's this like a regular thrusting of spears that's getting deflected by shield and sword from the Merathesi soldiers behind them. You watch as one of the monks is caught, is kind of shield bashed by one of the temple guards and staggers for a moment. And as the temple guard goes to sort of like strike at the monk, you see an arc of lightning burst in through the front door and like rack the temple guard, which kind of blows him back. It doesn't kill the guard, but it kind of wounds and winds them as he drops to the floor. And from the doorway strides where is he? Strides. Oh, just let me show it, please. Please. Please, I just want to show the picture. I've lost the picture. It's fine. I found it. I found the picture. Through the doorway strides an elderly Laravar man with a voluptuous blonde white beard, a circlet with purple and blue diamonds, and a staff crackling with lightning. And you recognise this man from the portraits from Archmage Ulick's mansion. And Archmage Ulick strides in, like staff out, having just zapped this temple guard, and as he slams his staff on the ground, this archmage declares, "Fight on!" And the loyalists push ever so slightly. Well, I say ever so slightly. Like they push harder into the defenders, just enough. You see that just as you manage to make it to this room. As you come up the stairs, a priestess turns to you and, "What's happening?" she says, as she can see and hear the fighting happening. "Oh, who are you?" she squeaks.
Hello. Hi, Alfric. Nothing good. Can you help me, please?
The priestess looks to you, and I mean, you're a dragon scent, right? So you must be trustworthy. What do I need to do?
I'm one sec, and it's just like
reroute the globe to the crystal.
We're rerouting the globe to the crystal.
The priestess looks to you and, okay, she says, and she kind of runs behind. This is a globe of sorts, but in lieu of land masses, you can see a crisscross of what would you assume from books is a map of ley lines, like arcane mana ley lines that crisscross the globe of elsewhere. And yeah, she instructs you to take a position opposite her, and she instructs you that you've fundamentally got to reroute the mana that's running through the ley lines of the globe into a central location so it can then be funneled. In layman's terms, that's a finesse check.
Cool. Rolling. That is a 12, and I rolled with fear.
12 with fear. No, 17 with fear, apparently.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 17. Oh, wait, no, I was looking at the wrong one. Yeah, it's a 12. It's a 12 with fear. It's a 12 with fear. A 12 with fear So as you kind of step forward and you're watching these kind of thrums of magical energy arcing across this globe at an incredibly fast speed, and you're just a bit. There's a moment of like deer in the headlights as you're just watching this happening, not helped by the sounds of people dying in the room behind you, and like. As you go to interact with this orb, you start getting zapped by the magic kind of coursing up into your fingertips, and the priestess is looking at you and, what are you doing? You're calibrating it in the wrong direction. You need to change the polarities. And she starts just speaking arcane Dutch to you.
Terribly sorry.
As that happens, what I'm gonna go ahead and do is roll some attacks for the mages, for the monks. So that's a hit and a miss. So you hear my arm from the room behind you as one of the guards is hacked down by one of the monks, who then kind of steps in to press the advance, and in fact they all kind of the attackers push in further, as does this archmage. Cool. So yeah, Alfric, you're kind of as you're shocked by the arcane orb, who's going next?
I'll go next.
Okay, go Azakar, go.
I would like to go up behind the High Priestess and see if I can grapple her.
Okay. Okay. A grapple is going to...
I don't know.
Oh, go on.
Yeah. No, I didn't know if it was a thing. So that's what I want to do.
Okay, a grapple is... it's going to be athletics, an agility, I suspect. Sprint, leap, maneuver, or strength. Yeah, agility or strength.
Still a strength.
If you're just like bear hugging this woman.
Yeah, I want to get my scimitar at her throat, basically.
Okay. Roll them bones.
There is something I can do. Let me have a quickie look. I would like to mark 2 stress.
Okay.
Using my fearless in my ancestry to make that roll with a hope instead.
Whoa. Okay. You mark 2 fear. You may add a hope in a moment. The 19 grapples the priestess, and she screeches as you grab her. What are you doing?
You get this crystal charged. You send us home. You accept your fate. This is the past. You lose.
The priestess, in her panic, stops, and as she looks to you, she looks down at the blade at her throat, and then, it's difficult for you to see, but then her eye tracks along the blade to see the insignia of Aya on the blade. And the priestess gently and slowly nods so as not to cheese grate her neck on the edge of your scimitar. Is there anything else you're doing, or is that turn?
No.
Okay.
I'm just intimidating her too.
Intimidating. No, absolutely. Ravi or Cal, who's going next?
I think Ravi will just kind of just on the group chat.
Is that the plan? Is that part of the plan? It's a car. What are you doing?
What's going on?
Azaka's got the priestess.
You're trying to get us killed.
Do not fight the intruders. They are part of the divine. This is meant to be. They are meant to die. The betrayers must die.
This is all memory of the past, isn't it?
Yes.
We just need to get out of here.
Exactly, and that is what I'm doing.
Or are you going to mess it all up?
Well, Rayri, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna grapple.
PvP. I'm gonna grapple Azakar, says Rayri. There's just gonna be a conga line of people with
human centipede.
Okay, so yeah, Rayri, what's Rayri doing?
Rayri's thoroughly confused about if she's meant to be fighting or not fighting, or who she's meant to be killing or who she's not meant to be killing. So I think. Oh, where's? Is there anyone? Oh, you've made this terribly hard as a car for decision making.
It's perfectly simple for him.
Yeah.
Do I know if so the other crystal hasn't calibrated? Is
Not
that
yet.
Correct?
Not yet. So yeah, Alfric's on a work in progress.
Okay, fab.
Rolling badly.
Maybe I think in the situation, I think Rayri's so confused about what she should be doing that she knows the only job that she could maybe do is go and also see if she can do this, calibrate this crystal. Okay. So can I run?
Yeah. Roll me an agility to see if you get there in one.
Can I use a experience, please? I'm going to ride on Vinny, and he has the experience of fast AF, boy.
Yeah. That's yeah.
He fast.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna roll. You say agility.
Agility, yeah, and then add 2 or 3 to it, whichever it is.
It's 3.
You called it fast AF. Okay.
4, 5, so it's 12, 13, 14, 15.
Sure. That is enough. So by all means, begin to move your token. You'll have to go into the doorway and then round. As you do, off the back of a fear, as you enter, you witness what can only be described as a bloodbath. I think for ease, I'm just going to speed this up and roll a d4. 3 of the defenders are hacked and stabbed to death as the defenders push in further. As the attackers push in further, I should say.
Going up this way?
No. Well, you can do.
Going this way?
That's it. So yeah, you see Alfric, who's currently just getting electrocuted by this globe.
Turns pleading eyes on you.
Where he just, I guess, stands on top of, like, the Vinny's saddle. I guess it's quite a high calibration. She's only little.
Yeah.
How far up is it? So she's going to stand, just kind of run in, jump on top of. So she's standing on top of Vinny to try and grab this.
It's
wheel.
harder than it looks.
Well, we'll see about that.
Okay.
What have we got? Finesse.
Yeah, please roll me a finesse. You can do tag teams on non-combat attacks, bear in mind.
Ooh, can we tag team finesse?
Yes.
Let's tag team with finesse.
So so if Alfric is tag teaming with Rayri, it will cost Alfric 3 hope, but you both get to roll and take whichever of the rolls you prefer.
Nice.
Good time.
I can do that. Let's finesse that.
So an 18 with hope, or a 9 with fear? Which would you like to take?
Where
I think we'll take Ray's.
Okay, yes. Are you sure? Are you sure?
Is it like sort of Patrick Swayze in Ghost? Am I behind? Just helping that.
Yeah. You're operating Alfric like a puppet. Between the two of you, you manage to, like, Alfric. There's perhaps the problem for you, Alfric, is that you can kind of like see what's what, but maybe you're not quite as like hand-eye coordinated as it can be. So, Alfric, with you kind of like pointing out what needs to happen, and Rayri, you effectively playing whack-a-mole to kind of redirect these lines of mana into the centre of the orb. Eventually the lines grow dim as the centre glows bright, and you feel this kind of magical energy drop down into the floor. And Alfric, Azakar, your face and blade are illuminated ever so slightly as the crystal in the centre of the astrolabe gets a bit brighter, as there is another charge that's filtered through into it. Okay, very good, Rayri. We will move across to Cal. What's Cal doing?
Cal has left everyone on red in regards to the last conversation they had.
Yeah.
He is trying to figure out what to do. He's noted what Azkar is doing, but he has also noted that he's not just killed her. Mm-hmm. So he's kind of like, okay. But
character growth.
How do you feel?
Yeah, it really, truly is. Oh, he is not having a good time.
How do you feel about the large dragon spawn in front of you that hasn't noticed that Azakar is holding the priestess hostage?
Not great, if I'm honest. Not great at all. Cal is just like trying to go back to how they were. Going a little bit mad. Just to check, so if we've got the two other artifacts set up, are there any other ones to set up now that we've done those two?
The priestess hasn't mentioned any others, but it seems like there is a bit of a time component here. It will need a bit of time to kind of gather. The central astrolabe will need to siphon energy into it, so perhaps it's more a case of just buying time, because if the defenders get in and they can destroy this machinery, like this art contraption, it's game over. The artifact doesn't get charged, you don't get to leave.
Okay.
So they say that.
EPK. EPK.
The thing is, I am also very concerned about this dragon turning around.
Perhaps you can charge into battle alongside a dragon spawn of Wenderhigh. You know, like the good old days.
That's the thing. I was on Azakar's side. The defenders and the loyalists are who Cal fought for. Cal has worn this uniform. He is having a really bad time with this. He is only really just trying to get his friends out of here.
But please, stroke my ego somewhat more.
Shut up, Dad. Oh God, I think there is a part of him that just wants to wait and see what happens next.
Sure. You can absolutely.
I think that makes the most sense to him, because I think it's out of character for him to go fight his fellow soldiers, but it is also out of character for him to.
Okay.
He doesn't want to fight the defenders because he knows they're going to die anyway.
Like sitting and like hoping desperately that the Eindrith doesn't look over his shoulder is absolutely a valid action.
Yeah. I feel like he's going to say in the group, don't fight unless you absolutely have to.
Okay.
We just need to buy this. We just need to wait this out.
Sure. And it's interesting that Cal says that as he ends his turn, as the last of the initial defenders are overrun, and Vanyr, Alfric, and Rayri, you both watch, you both spy these Ulavari battle monks kind of arriving at the bottom of your respective stairwells, accompanied by soldiers of Merethesos, while others kind of charge up in towards the main sanctum. As they advance, you do spy an archmage who looks remarkably familiar, Vanyr and Rayri. But yes, it looks like the loyalists are well and truly pushing into the temple proper. So we'll start a new round. Who wants to go first?
I guess I'll just head this again.
Okay. Go, Vanyr, go.
And I just hear this message come through from Cal. Whilst like Vanya's just been here, like, oh, am I the one who's been able to do the magic-y stuff? Like reading from that moment, but then here's this message from Cal, like, not to fight, and then suddenly these really dangerous monks just block his way, and then sees this very familiar wizard in the background, and he's like, oh no. Well, I got no other choice. And because he has no means to get past, he will just go in for the attack.
So anyway, I started blasting.
They're in the way.
You call him a second.
Please, so as you advance towards this kind of lithe, athletic fighter in black robes and armed with a silver scythe, Vanyr, what do you do?
Yes, I am going to very close range. On success, you may spend a hope to use. So I'm planning, if this hits, to use the whirlwind ability. And I'm just wondering if I can. Looking at how dangerous this monk person is, Vanyr doesn't really have much knowledge of. Like, he knows of these, like, he's heard of these people, but this is the first time, like, having to fight one in this strange memory space, and he's just like, we just got to get out of here. But also there's this, like, part of him that is just really excited at the fact that, like, getting into this fight.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna spend.
Yeah, fundamentally these are the paladins of the Seraphs of Ulavari.
And because he's of the excitement of the fight, but also knowing what he's up against, I want to spend a hope to use my experience thrill of the hunt.
Okay.
So I'm now down to 4 hope. Let me just edit my token. There we go. Right. So yeah, this is going to be made with an extra +3 to hit. Crit. Is that crit? No, wait, no, I rolled the damage. Hold on. Damn it.
That is a double 1 on damage.
Why, cruel world? No, okay, let me click the right one this time. Ignore that. And then this is with a
+3.
+3. So I should have probably rolled the strength.
Yeah.
And it's also another +3 because of my experience, so it's actually +6.
So +20. So 20.
Yeah. So 20. Yeah. 20 to hit, and I gain a hope from that, but I'm going to spend the hope in this scenario, because I'm going to use Whirlwind to use that roll against the other two folks as well behind him.
Yeah.
So yeah, does a 20 hit?
Yes. 20, yes.
Can I? So what? Now I click the button that you made.
Click Primal Gauntlets.
Okay, so maybe I should have clicked the strength button first. Okay, never mind. Primal Gauntlets. Here we go. And because I'm going to add a Slayer my 2 Slayer dice as well into this hit.
Another 2d6.
So 2d6 on top. Let me just add that. Roll.
Co's like, try not to kill anyone.
26?
I'm gonna punch this man into the future. 26. Cool.
26 magical damage.
Yeah.
Oh wait, was that with the plus? Does that? Oh yeah, it already adds the plus 3. Yeah, that's fine. So yeah, that's 26 on the monk, and then for the if a 20 hits the other 2 soldiers, then they take half the damage, if I recall.
Okay.
On a success, any additional succeed against with this ability take half damage rounded up. So 26.
So 13.
So that, yes. 13 damage on the soldiers as well.
Cool. Cool. So you knock 3 hit points off of this monk. As the monk goes like soaring back and like staggers heavily, has like the scythe scrapes across the ground to try and slow it. And as you kind of launch forward with this this Titanic of assault, the monk is knocked back. Well, actually knocked the monk backwards, and then the 2 soldiers either side of the monk are just absolutely obliterated by your attacks. And as you lash out at the other 2, they're also made of this sort of like crystalline like outline that shifts slightly. And you watch as these like crystalline shapes, for all intents and purposes, shatter and explode away from you, and the shards just kind of like vanish into nothingness.
I don't know what that means.
They completely disappear, and the monk sort of like stops heavily wounded. Anything else, Vanya?
I'm gonna move.
Okay.
I'm gonna head back as far as I can with my move, back towards the back to the main room. So how do I do?
So yeah, just go 6.
Me with the
Can you not move?
6 squares.
Yeah, 6 squares. So that's 1. Well, that gets you to there. There we go. 30 feet.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to get to there. I assume I can't get to the main room. So, yeah,
I mean, for an agility check, you can try to go an extra 30.
No, you know what, I'll keep it to there just because if the other 2 struggle getting out, I'll stick there.
Sure.
For the minute.
In which case, who's going next?
And I also say in the telepathy, so like, sorry, didn't have a choice.
Oh, I messed those 2 up. Yeah, who's...
They were blocking my way.
Who's going to go after Vanya? What did you do?
What did you do?
Doop-a-doop-a-doop.
In that case, can I take my go next?
Yeah. Go, Azakar,
go. He's just going to grip he's just going to grip tighter on to the High Priestess and just say, how much longer will this take?
She glances at the crystal, and like you can see that it is gaining, like it is glowing brighter and brighter by the moment, but she sort of like, you feel her almost shrug slightly, and we just need some time. She kind of says through gritted teeth.
He's just gonna press the scimitar sort of more towards her neck.
Okay.
Not trying to break the skin. It might break the skin a little bit, but just trying to intimidate her more to act faster.
I would ask for another strength check.
Yeah.
Because this is a very physical intimidation rather than a presence intimidation. Yeah, she's just setting up a Etsy store. Okay. You feel her tense up as the blade presses against her. You are still in control of the situation, and she's still very compliant to you. She does, however, mutter under her breath, "I should have never expected anything else from an iron." Dan pauses for a reaction and then asks who's going next.
I'm happy to go next.
Yeah, so Azakar just went, now Rayri.
I think seeing that there's kind of so many in front of us, and Rayri looks at Alfric and just smiles, and then uses him as a boost.
Okay.
So she's going to goat jump off of Alfric, so she can get over. So basically, if my boost ability is if I have an ally in close range, Marcus Express, boost off them in the air to then attack an enemy within far range.
Yep.
So I want to boost off of Alfric to jump over the monk to then attack one of the soldiers near the Ulick.
Okay.
So going up and over.
Up and over.
So basically I can just mark a stress and I get an advantage. So I'll mark my stress.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm just going to do an attack roll.
So what are you pulling? Are you drawing out your stabbing knife, or are you shooting?
I think I will shoot.
Uh-huh. And you have to land within melee.
I have to land within melee range.
So tell you what, if you plonk your token down where you want to land, and then we'll.
Oh, no.
You might need to, because of the wall. So yeah.
Leap. Leap.
Okay. So between the two soldiers and the battle monk.
Yes, please. And that will be. I just roll. Wait, what am I rolling? It's agility, yeah. Oh, I get advantage. 17.
17. And who is the target of your attack?
Oh, it's the one that I'm going to go within melee range of, so it'll be,
This one?
That's the boy.
Go. 17 will definitely hit. If you roll for damage.
Got one.
13. Okay. 13. So, as you vault through the air to land like between these two soldiers, what does your attack look like?
So it's she's still mounted to Vinny, so I guess we both goat kick. off of Alfred.
This huge dog.
Just vaults offside of you.
And then as we fly through the air, she's going to shoot down as she's flying. Just whoop, bam.
In which case, as you shoot down as you're about to land, the arrow strikes the Merathisi soldier, who sort of like recoils and falls to the ground, and the crystalline outline just kind of shatters outwards, and the soldier vanishes. As like you land, Vinny lands on top of another of the soldiers, who then kind of shatters. As you do, another of the soldier on the other side of Ulick, seeing you approach, like steps forward and goes to thrust at you with your spear, and you're forced to reflexively roll out the way and fire up, taking out a third.
Sorry, I was only trying to jump out the way, and I accidentally killed 3. Sorry, Cal. Sorry.
Killed 3 who?
Exactly, Azakar. Who? They're just...
just some of the crystal men.
Anything else, Rayri? As Azakar processes.
I'm just gonna get towards the... How far can I go?
30 feet.
30 feet.
That is a pillar you're stood in front of, though.
Oh.
And also, I will bring upon you roll with fear, so I will take a fear. Cool. Is that your movement, Rayri?
Yep.
In which case, I will spend the fear that I've just got to activate, and watching you mow through his men, his soldiers. Archmage Ulick. Traitors! He shouts. And okay. As he shouts, he draws a staff, like he draws his staff back, and then from his belt he produces a wand that you recognise from his portrait in the dining room of the Ulick Manor. And I'm going to spend an additional fear to spend a fear, beg your pardon, he unleashes a like multiple blasts of lightning at both Rayri and Vanyr. Rayri and Vanyr can make me agility reaction rolls, please.
You need me to make action roll, yeah?
An agility reaction roll.
Reaction roll, okay. Agility. Crit.
17 and a crit. Okay, so you both managed to dive out the way of these 2 blasts of lightning. However, it is still 9 damage to the 2 of you.
Still 9 damage. Okay.
That's it. Traitors!
I'm going to spend an armor slot. Because that just goes over my into major, so I'm going to bring it to minor, and I'm also going to roll a d6 because of my thick skin. If I roll a 5 or 6, I take no damage instead.
Okay. So I took a turn because Ray rolled fear. I spent a fear to cast that spell.
Nope.
Ravy, are you spending any armor for that damage?
Yes. Spending an armor slot, so I take 1. A minor.
Cool.
I took a hit.
Cool. I will then spend a fear to activate one of the Ulavari monks. So the monk in front of you, Rayri, as you did a Moida, is going to...
Excellent. I only know how to jump if I hit.
So we're going to do a d20 plus 1. So a swing of the scythe, Rayri, probably hits you with a 19.
Yep.
And you take rather beautifully. 10 damage as this scythe arcs across you.
Take another armor slot. Take another hit point.
Okay. And I will call my turn there. Who wants to go next?
I think if Alfric sees what's going on through the doorway, having just been bounded off.
And left to contend with a battle monk and a spearman, yeah.
Yes. He will stare in horror at the spearman, and then he will remember Cal's words. He really doesn't want Cal angry with him. And he will try and cast Slumber on the monk in front of him.
Okay.
It's a spellcast roll against a very close target.
Okay, so that'll be a presence for you.
Ah. Where's my presence? There it is.
Oh, Georgia.
He's just rolling so well. It's 11 with my with this plus spellcast.
That's baked in.
No, it's on there already.
That's baked in. Yeah. Okay. You rolled with hope though, so you can mark yourself on the hope. Yeah, swings around about silver linings. You've got hope in your heart as you're hacked down like wheat at harvest. That's.
But at least Cal isn't angry with me.
That's the hope he holds.
That's true. That's true. Well, as you cast that, are you looking to move? Perhaps are you just going to run past this battle monk, leave this priest behind you to their fate?
Actually, that's a joke. He wouldn't want that. It's not very heroic of him.
Okay.
He's not feeling particularly heroic right now. It's a very "are we the baddies" moment.
Sure.
I think he will, if he can, he will like grab her wrist and like try and like pull her along with him, like just fucking run.
Okay, sure. Tell you what, roll me another presence check as you deliver your finest "come with me if you want to live" speech. It'll be a reactive, just because 10. I mean.
She saw he's
so impressed by his
calm and heroic ways. She's like, nah, actually, I'll stay here.
I
think I'll die here.
I genuinely can't argue for difficulty 10 in this arena. So you try to convince the priestess to join you, and the priestess just from behind just hides. But yes, you can move up to 30.
So that is 1. And
it might stop you because of the walls.
Yeah.
If you're looking to kind of join Ray.
Yes. If I head out there and then that got me in.
There you are.
Then,
you can move to about there.
Oh yeah, cheers. I will. I'm going to collide with a pedestrian.
That's fine. Okay, so you scoot past the battle mage, the battle monk, sorry, and you join up with Rayri. Because you missed, I will activate with the other monk that's fighting Rayri and Vanier. Dan thought he got away with it, but no, that's 7. He got away with it. Next up is Cal. What's Cal doing?
I feel like when he heard Ulick shout traitors, I think his blood ran cold, and he suddenly imagined that all of his friends were about to get vaporized.
Yeah.
And
well, you heard traitor, and then the smell of ozone.
He's so torn. He's going to look over to where Azkar is.
Azakar's going to look over to him, and you're going to hear in your head, he's going to go to the others.
Okay. And then he's just gonna run towards them to help them.
Okay. In this instance, it's like 50-ish feet to get there, so I'll need an agility check to get there in 1. Okay, so a 15 will get you there. So feel free to position yourself in and around Vanya and Rayri. And then I'll take the fear, because I think I get to activate as well. Anyway, well, I'll activate in a sec. I'll take the fear.
Okay. Right, where's you back?
You're right here.
And there's 3 monks left, yeah?
There are 4 monks.
4 monks. Okay. It's so difficult for Cal. I think he is going to use one of his abilities. And he's going to do Whirlwind.
Okay.
So make an attack roll against a target using a weapon with melee or very close range. On a success, you may spend a hope to use that roll against every other enemy in that weapon's range. So I think if he's going to try and get in between these two, well, he's between these 2 monks next to him. So I think he's going to basically hit one and hopefully be able to hit the other.
Sure.
So that's... I can assume I can do that dual wield. It doesn't say I can't do it in dual.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm going to do that. So that is a...
Just dual wielding 2 scythe wielding zealots.
Yeah. So that would be... it'll be a +2, I think. With the... No.
Well, if you do a strength, if you roll your strength and then click your dual wield button, that'll bake it in.
Okay.
Okay, so an 18 to hit does hit the monks.
Cool. So I will dual wield the damage, and then I'll spend a hope for that to happen to the other one.
Okay.
Is that right? So 17 damage, and then spend a hope to do it to the other one.
So
as
you
well.
do 17 to both.
No, the other one gets half the damage.
It's a half, okay.
Is it?
So
is it half? Okay.
17.
Rounded up.
So do you want to attack the one on your, like, one to the left for 17?
Which is the one that looks the most damaged? Has any either of them got any damage yet?
These 2 look spick and span. These 2.
Okay, well then he'll take the one on the right.
Okay. So the one on the right, you do 17 damage. That is major damage. So 2. And half. So 8 damage is minor. So he takes 1. Cool. So yeah, the two monks kind of try to get in. You kind of parrying and manage to slash at the 2 of them as you go. I will, on the back of a fear, I will activate, and the monk that was bodied by Vanier, so this one here, seeing that the allies have engaged. Ooh, very close is 3 squares. We said, right?
Very close is,
child.
Is 2 squares away from your square. Because
I've got 3.
So
1, 3, 6, 12.
Oh, if you got a reach weapon. Or...
Yes, actually, it's very close. Cool. In which case, Cal, as you come in swinging, and you wound the 2 monks, the one that was fighting Vanier, seeing this happen, as a reaction, flips into the space between the 2 of them, marks a stress, and oh no, that's not what I want to do. Sorry, on my turn, the monk reinforces, so marks a stress, flips into position, into melee range of an ally, makes an attack against a very close target, i.e. you. So that is d20 plus 1. For a 7, I assume that does not hit.
No, does not hit.
Okay. In which case, Cal, you have to step back as this 3rd monk kind of flips in, and as part of the flip, the scythe like the hands go to one end of the scythe and it comes down like a guillotine blade, and you skip out the way as the scythe slides across the floor, leaving a chisel in the ground. At the end of the round, Eindrith decides to join the battle and sort of like soars in over your heads, and you dare defile this temple with your footsteps, as the dragon soars overhead, and like as he goes overhead, you see this archmage take a step back, like Ulick gasps, and then, "Fight on! I will slay this spawn!" as he smashes his staff on the ground and lightning arcs out. And you realise it seems like you are witnessing their first encounter. As we move into the third round, Azakar, you notice the gem, the crystal, like glows to a bright enough. It glows, continues to glow brighter, and then the priestess kind of whimpers to you. "It is done," she says. I think you're muted.
Sorry about that. Chris was making noise outside. What do we do now?
"Gather your allies, and we shall send you back."
As a card's then going to say in his mind, he said, "The crystal is ready. Retreat. Let's go."
Okay.
The go.
Are all four of you making your retreat as Eindrith flies overhead?
Rapidly.
Yes.
Okay. In which case, as you rush back into the main hall, as you filter back through the 4 temple guard that were behind you, they surge forward to engage the loyalist forces, as does Eindrith as he kind of flies through over your heads to engage with Ulick and the others. And as you hear the sounds of battle kind of ringing out from behind you as you rush back towards the large kind of astrolabe, you all find Azakar holding this priestess hostage. And she sort of like looks to the 4 of you and, "Take the crystal, twist the bottom clockwise," she says.
Someone do this now.
Okay. And Vanier, so as you grab this gem and you twist it, you once again feel your stomachs lurch as it feels like the floor. Actually, you feel your stomachs lurch not because you feel like the floor under your feet has just fallen away, but because it feels like you've just been propelled directly up. And you feel the same kind of sensations you felt a short while ago, but in reverse, seemingly as you're speeding forwards out of this crystalline memory. And the refracted kind of crystalline nature of your vision starts to fade away as you watch as this temple almost like visibly degrades around you, until you... the speed seemingly increases faster and faster and faster, until you find yourself back in the present. And Alfric, Cal, as you land, you hear a cry and realise that Alfric has kind of rematerialised on the edge of one of the cracks in the floor. So Cal, as you leap, you're able to, lightning speed, you're able to leap forward and grab Alfric and pull him back on. And Azakar, suddenly you no longer have a person between you and your blade. And as you turn, you see Ganna stood a little way away from the centre of the room. And he's still holding the crystal, but now it thrums with the same energy that you'd charged it with in the memory. Thank you for this gift, he says. You have been worthy allies. Indeed. And you hear this low, resonant voice boom out of him. And Alfric, you think back to the Ulick Manor, and you realise that Eindrith seemingly operates on convincing people to accept his power. And as Ganna smiles and eyes the runic circle that he's inscribed around the five of you, you watch as this mage, as runes emit from his staff and a portal appears behind him. It was nice working with you, he says, as he steps backwards through the portal, and you feel the temple around you begin to start shaking. And as you hear the magma underneath beginning to roil and bubble and become more violent and agitated, and your ticket home to Avermore steps backwards through a portal with an artifact you have charged. We'll call it there.
Diggity jam.
Oopsie doodle.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Congratulations, everyone, on completing the second episode of our tale. I'm sure you're going to be fine in this collapsing volcanic temple. You're going to be absolutely fine.
Great. It's going to be great.
Absolutely great.
So mad. So mad right now.
So, I apologise for running over slightly, but at least we got there. So, if you enjoyed this, make sure to leave a comment. Tell me what you liked about it so I can learn to do some more of it in the future. If you would like to see more of this, then absolutely follow us on Twitch or subscribe over on YouTube. We have loads and loads of TTRPG content much like this. There's the third campaign of the Explorers of Elsewhere campaign setting coming out in the near future. To be decided near future. The mutable to near future. So yeah, I wouldn't want you to miss that out and miss out on that. We've obviously got the more of this. We've got some more episodes of this tale to show you as well. Yeah, just so much stuff. You'd be doing yourself a disservice not to join along. Thank you everyone for playing. You're over there. Thanks for playing, everyone.
Thanks, Dad.
And thank you all.
Thanks for coming, Dan.
That's right. You are more than welcome. Thank you for watching. And I will see you all next time. Bye.